Hello and welcome. I'm Kim Denyas, a spiritual director in Easton, Pennsylvania. I'm in Genesis, the 37th chapter, and we have been watching God's promises manifest through Jacob. We have 12 sons that have been born that are to become the 12 tribes of Israel, or are the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob's name has been changed to Israel, and now we meet a young lad, 17 years old, whose name is Joseph. He is the firstborn of Rachel. So he is one who came a little bit later in Israel's life, Jacob's life. He is the 11th of these 12 boys. The 12th will be Benjamin. Now, we know that Jacob had favorites, and Joseph was his favorite. We see that he gives this boy, this 17-year-old, a long robe with sleeves. It's many colors, so it probably was not white or cream. It was bright and beautiful, perhaps. And Joseph has some dreams. For whatever reason, he's not out working with his older brothers. That's clear from the text. That he's not out with the sheep and the goats. He's at home with dad. And he starts having dreams. He has two of them. The first dream, 11 sheaves of wheat are in a field, and they begin to bow down to him. Suddenly he says, "My sheaf rose and you all bowed down." The next dream is about the dream is about the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars, and the 11 stars are bowing down to him. This causes great jealousy. It probably would have been one of those things to just kind of keep to yourself and not share with your brothers. It causes great animosity. The boys are like, "What? We're going to worship you? What is this about?" And so the brothers are jealous, and the text also says that the father kept the matter in mind. So the dad's kind of holding this. What's going on? So a day comes, the boys are out in the pasture, the older, I'm sure they're men now, if Joseph is 17. And Israel says to Joseph, "Would you please go check on them? Go see how they're doing." And so he comes out to them, and he's wearing his new robe, his new outfit, if you will. And they see him coming, and they say, "Here comes the dreamer. Let's kill him. Let's kill him. Throw him into one of these pits." And we can say a wild animal devoured him. Reuben, one of the 12, kind of says, "Let's not shed any blood. Let's not shed any blood." And what Reuben's hoping that they can throw him in a pit. They're going to fake like he died, and then Reuben's going to come back and rescue Joseph. But this is going to go a little sideways on them. They take his robe, they tear it up, they sprinkle some blood on it to make it look like he was maybe killed by a wild animal, and they take this back to his dad. Judah, that's going to be a familiar name, Judah. Judah sees some people coming, a caravan from Ishmael, and says, "Oh, let's sell him." So he says, "What profit is there if we just kill him? Let's make some money." Lovely, right? I hope you don't have any siblings like that in your life. I hope I don't. So anyway, they sell him to these traders. Take him out of the pit. Off he goes. Meanwhile, sometime later, Reuben returns to the pit and sees that he's been hoodwinked, that they have taken the robe. They are presenting it as death to the father, and the father is heartbroken. He weeps and wails, the text says, for his beloved son, Joseph. Meanwhile, Joseph is on a journey of his own. The people from Ishmael sell him to Egyptians, and the Egyptians, he ends up with Potiphar, one of the Pharaoh's officials, captain of the guard, if you will, captain of the guard. We're going to jump a couple chapters. There's some backstory that happens, and we're going to find Joseph in Potiphar's home with Potiphar's wife. It says he was taken to Egypt, and we know that, and the Lord was with him. That's a really important verse because Joseph is going to need to know that. He becomes a very successful man. He ends up being in charge for his master's home. In other words, he's the head servant for his master. And he finds favor with everyone he takes care of, everyone he attends, including Potiphar's wife. Potiphar's wife sees this striking young man. We get the feeling that he is perhaps, tall, dark, and handsome. And she tries to seduce him. He rejects her and rejects her and rejects her. Finally, this hurts her feelings, and she reaches for him and gets some of his garment in her hands, and then cries rape. At that point, Joseph is put into prison. And we're going to end there. He is falsely accused. And it's interesting to me, in just these short chapters, this short little space of time, he's rejected by his brothers. He's sold and resold. And then lies are spread about him. Hard stuff. Hard stuff. I like to imagine how that would have been for me if I had endured that. Would I still have been able to connect with God? Would I still have been able to see God at work in my life? And we do see that with Joseph. Next time we're together, I'm going to pick him up as he's in prison in Egypt, falsely accused, basically sent there to die, to rot. And yet he allows God to use him. So let's stop there. Again, I invite you to see what might be for you from today. Take 30 seconds, a minute, and just sit with some aspect of this. Maybe it brought up something that you need to ask for forgiveness for. Maybe it touched a wound from your childhood. Maybe you need to talk to somebody. Spiritual directors can be very helpful with these types of things. As is the world we live in, it's helpful if you hit subscribe or like. And I just thank you for being with me today. I pray that these words, these little teachings, are helpful in your life. Bye now.